A black waitress is ridiculed for her scars until a veteran is shocked to recognize her unit tattoo.
What is that
"Hey,
supposed to
look,
be, tough
it's
guy?
Freddy Krueger on
He
coffee
doesn't look tough
duty,"
enough to serve.
shouted Calvin Reddick, slamming his palm on the table and sending silverware
Hold on, I know that
rattling
unit
as
crest.
laughter erupted from his table of smug consultants. "Hey, freak, bring us more coffee, but don't melt the mugs with those hands." The cruelty echoed through Lyle's diner like a siren, drawing stares toward Dana Lewis, 35, whose burn-scarred arms disappeared beneath the sleeves of her pristine white uniform. What none of them realized was that Dana had endured far worse than their sadistic jokes. Years of war, fire, and silence, and every insult they hurled only fueled a strength they could never comprehend. "Probably a meth lab explosion," one of them muttered just loud enough for her to hear. "Or maybe her ex lit her up. You know how it is in their neighborhoods." But Dana moved with grace, pouring coffee with surgical precision, her back straight and voice composed. "Anything else, gentlemen?" Her restraint confused Calvin, whose smirk faded momentarily before he leaned forward. What happened? Burned in a fight, or was it punishment? A flicker crossed Dana's face, not fear, but the kind of steel-eyed calm reserved for those who had walked through hell and made it out breathing. "Work," she replied, pivoting away. "What kind of job does that?" They taunted. "Bouncer, hooker." Dana stopped. "Careful," she said, turning with a stillness that sucked the oxygen out of the room. "Some stories are more dangerous than you're equipped to handle." Laughter resumed, but it faltered when across the room, Patrick Hale, a former Marine on a cross-country drive, noticed her posture, the way she subtly shifted her balance, like someone assessing combat terrain. "People like you always find trouble," Calvin jeered, and Dana finally approached, eyes locked. "You assume too much. These scars don't come from chaos, they come from service." "Service?" He laughed. "What's noble about slinging hash?" She leaned in. "The difference between us is that you judge people by what's visible. I judge by what they do when no one's watching." Patrick saw the tactical calculation in her eyes and knew she wasn't breaking. She was positioning. When Calvin started recording her with his phone, mocking her on video, Dana didn't flinch. She smiled coldly. "Please keep recording. I want you to remember this." "Oh, she loves the spotlight," Calvin mocked. "Probably runs an OnlyFans for burn fetishes." "Actually," Dana said, approaching, "I have been recorded while receiving commendations for pulling wounded soldiers from under fire, for battlefield triage under RPG attack." "That kind of filming." The laughter died as doubt crept in. "Keep filming. What's your full name, by the way?" "Calvin Reddick." "Reddick and Partners, look it up. Consulting and Corporate Solutions." "Oh, I will," she replied, memorizing it. "You mentioned helping clients eliminate bad cultural fits. I've been listening for weeks. You say a lot when you think no one's paying attention." Dana called Tony, the manager. "Can you witness this? Mr. Calvin Reddick is recording me and making comments about my body." Calvin scoffed. "You're just a burnt-out waitress. Exactly. Invisible, harmless. The type no one notices until it's too late." When he demanded, "What kind of things do you think you've learned?" she smiled. "Everything. Names, tactics, clients, conversations, every Tuesday for 5 months." Patrick watched it click, the exact moment Calvin's arrogance cracked. Dana nodded. "Tony, can you grab my other phone, the one with the recorder app?" And then it played. Calvin's own voice, smug and clear. "Never say it's about race. Use productivity, attendance, team chemistry." Calvin lunged, but Patrick blocked him. "Don't." More recordings followed. Dana's expression didn't change. "Those tapes, already sent to the Department of Labor, EEOC, and civil rights firms. By now your clients are being contacted." Calvin's phone rang. It was his biggest account. "We need to talk." Another call, then his wife. "Instagram's blowing up. You're all over the place. Humiliating a veteran." Dana tilted her head. "Oh right, I posted your video, the one you filmed." Added a caption, "CEO harasses decorated Iraq war medic in public." His hands shook as he saw the viral post. Millions of views, her photo in uniform. "This will ruin me," he whispered. "Good," she replied. "Some lessons must leave scars." 6 months later, Dana was no longer just a waitress. She had spoken before Congress, advised Fortune 500s, and stood as a national voice for veteran equity. Tony installed a wall of honor above the booth where Calvin once heckled her. Her framed photo in uniform stood at the center. Patrick relocated to the city and opened a consulting firm with Dana, helping veterans transition into civilian careers. And opened a consulting firm with Dana, helping veterans transition into civilian careers. The funny part, he once told her, is Calvin tried to degrade you and ended up exposing his own moral decay. Dana smiled. The best revenge is building something so strong they're forced to respect it. Meanwhile, Reddick and partners dissolved. Calvin's name became synonymous with disgrace. His wife left, settlements drained his finances, and his ex-assistant now worked for a company Dana personally advised. One afternoon, Calvin walked back into Lyle's diner, hoping to talk. Dana served him without hesitation, poured his coffee, took his order. When he tried to apologize again, she simply said, "Mr. Reddick, that wasn't a misunderstanding. It was your character on full display." The transformation was complete. The woman once mocked in silence was now invited to speak at universities, boardrooms, and Capitol Hill. Her scars, once a target, had become living emblems of valor, survival, and dignity. "If this story moved you," Dana said in her most recent televised interview, "remember, we don't always choose injustice, but we can always choose our response to it. And sometimes, the most powerful story you'll ever tell is the one your enemies write for you."